Hi booktubers, I am back tonight with a monster of a book haul for you. I pretty much wanted to wait until I had everything that I was expecting in the mail and UPS, and I got my last package today. Well, I'm still waiting for my pre-order of Isaac Marion's collection of short stories, but I have no idea when that's going to finally show up, so I didn't want to wait until I got that to do the video, so here I am. And I have 20 books and I think 3 things that I got for review through NetGalley. Speaking of books to review, I got my very first request to do a review. Yes, I was so excited. I know this is like not very exciting for most booktubers because it happens to them all the time, but this is the first one that I've gotten since I've had my YouTube channel up, and they contacted me through my blog and asked me if I'd be interested in reading their book, and I was like, heck yeah. So I'm excited about that, and just for your information, all of my contact info will be in the drop-down doobly-doo box, so yeah. And this video might end up getting broken up into 2 parts because I've got a lot of stuff to cover, so we need to get started. And this haul encompasses 2 orders from Barnes & Noble, 1 through Books A Million, and a couple things from Amazon. Now, I'm going to start off with the books that I got from Barnes & Noble during their 90% off after Christmas sale. And these are all bargain books, and they're all pretty much in pretty decent shape. But I'm going to start with a book that I can't actually show you because I don't have it right now. I already read it. I read it last week, and I loaned it to a friend of mine at work, and he still has the book. So I'll just insert a picture of the cover now. And as you can see, it's called Low Boy by John Ray, and this came out in 2009. And I'm not going to say very much about it because I plan on doing either a proper video review or more than likely just talk about it during my weekly wrap-up video that I plan on doing tomorrow. But it is about a boy named Will who's 16, and he's a paranoid schizophrenic, and he walks away from this hospital that he's been at. And the whole book takes place in a 24-hour period. And the book was really great. It definitely left a major impression on me, but it's extremely dark, and it's not a YA book. It's definitely adult. So that's all I'm going to say about it on this video. Yeah, okay. Next up, we have Between Two Queens by Kate Emerson. Sorry for the glare. It obviously takes place during the reign of Henry VIII, and that's one of my very, very favorite subjects. I love books about Henry VIII, and this, I believe, takes place when he's married to Jane, and it's about a girl named Nan Bassett who attempts to become the next queen after Queen Jane dies. So yeah, and I was a little confused with this book because I could have sworn when I ordered it, it said that it was the second book in a series, but looking at the book itself, it doesn't mention anything about a book before this one. So I'm going to take that to mean that even if there was a book before this one, that I can still read this one and not have to read the first one beforehand. So yeah, there's that. And this next book is actually a book that I used to have, but I kind of lost along the way before I ever got around to reading it. So I'm happy that I was able to find it again, and I think it was like $2 or something. And it is The Madness of Angels, or A Madness of Angels, or The Resurrection of Matthew Swift by Kate Griffin. This is the front. This is the back. It says on the back, for Matthew Swift, today is not like any other day. It is the day on which he returns to life. And I believe he is a sorcerer who, 2 years after he was murdered, and that's just plain. 2 years after he was murdered, he is resurrected, and I believe he spends his time trying to figure out who killed him. So that's that. And I think there's a second one out in this series, but yeah, I'm going to wait and see if I like this one before thinking about getting the next one. I've never heard of this author before, but it's called Soul by Tabsha Lerner. I guess that's how you say it. Yeah, and it's a dual story, one taking place in the present time and one taking place in the past. Yeah, I think the two women actually might be related. I don't really know very much about this book. I'm being honest with you. I think I got this book because I was curious, and I read the very beginning of it, and it sounded interesting, but there's not very many good reviews for this book that I've come across yet, so I'm a little hesitant. But like I said, I'm willing to give it a try. So yeah. And next, this is also a book I used to have, but I don't know what happened to it. Probably in my big book purge when I moved, I got rid of it, and I hadn't read it yet, so I'm glad to have it in hardback. And it's The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. And if you don't know, it's a story about Dracula. It's about this woman who starts researching the history of Vlad the Impaler, and yeah, I always wanted to read this because I love vampire books, and especially ones about Dracula. So yeah, so this is the front, this is the back, and this is like in really excellent condition. And I love the inside because it has a map. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And this book I got because I saw the cover and I just fell in love with the cover, and I've heard really good things about this author. And it is, major glare, The Mystery of Grace by Charles DeLint. I've heard really good things about this author, but I've never read anything by him. So I don't really know much about this book other than the fact that it's about a girl named Grace who is a mechanic, and she meets this guy, and it's kind of like a star-crossed love story. Yeah, so I think this was $1.99 as well. And this is the back. It's so pretty. And it's just a plain book on the inside. And it's a short book, so it won't take me that long to read. So, moving right along. The next book I have is Directive 51 by John Barnes. This is a dystopian that takes place after, some kind of virus, I believe. It says it is known as National Security Presidential Directive 51, signed in 2007, and it claims specific federal powers in the event of a catastrophic emergency. Yeah, and it's called Daybreak. Yeah, so it's kind of vague on the inside, but it's a dystopian, and it's the end of the world, and yeah, you get the idea. I'm always up for a new dystopian, so hopefully this will be good. Next up is one I have never heard of before, but the cover and the title made me want to buy it. So it's called My Name is Will by Jess Winfield, and it says it's a novel of sex, drugs, and Shakespeare. And this is a book about a guy named Will who lives in the 70s, and his life sort of starts to parallel that of William Shakespeare. And it sounds kind of trippy and interesting and sort of quirky, and I like those kind of books. So there's that. And then the last book that I got during the 90% off sale is one that I actually saw at Books A Million the last time I was there, and they had it in the bargain section, but it was like $8.99, and I think I got this for like $1.99 through Barnes & Noble. And it is Haunt Me Still by Jennifer Lee Carroll. And this is also sort of Shakespeare related, I believe. It's about a play. Yeah, it's about a play that's haunted, and a bunch of people try to put it on, and there's this big mystery, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'm like sucking trying to explain these books to you. I'm trying to go through them pretty quickly so the videos don't end up being like an hour long. So yeah, there's this. This one I'm actually really excited to read because I haven't read a good mystery in quite a while, and I'm always interested in anything about Shakespeare. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to end this part of the video now and then just do a separate video for the rest of the haul. So I will see you for part 2.